So let me tell you guys how you get out of the wage cage and how you become an entrepreneur and start working paycheck to paycheck because that's never going to cut it. So, number one, you're going to need savings. And I know it may be hard, but you're going to need savings. For those of you that saving money is difficult, you're going to have to learn how to discipline yourself. I suggest you read books like Tony Robbins' The Money Game, and I suggest that you go on YouTube and start following the Wealth Twins. They'll give you tips on how you can gain discipline. But if you can't save money, it's going to be difficult for you. But you're going to need savings because when you have savings, it's going to be part one to two or three parts that you need so you can actually take time off from your job so you can pivot into a business person. Number two, you're going to need for your credit cards to be paid off. Okay? And you're going to need that because you don't want to ever exhaust all your savings. You're going to be using your savings as a bank. Yes, you're going to become your own bank. Believe it or not, you can do this. And I don't mean a bank that has multi-million dollars. Most of us don't need what we think we need, but what you do need is a cushion, okay? So that's one, savings, two, credit cards. It would behoove you to have investments as well. Now, once again, a lot of people think, oh, I got to have a lot of money to have an investment. That's not true. What I'm saying is, you are making several streams of income already, and it it would behoove most people to have a brokerage account. That's what I'm saying. For instance, if one had a brokerage account, they could put money into the brokerage account. They could use that as an extra savings account and tell themselves, I'm not going to touch it. They can buy Roth RIAs. They can max those out every year. They can also buy stocks. They can also buy bonds. They can also buy ETFs. So when you have all these little pockets of income, are you getting it now? You're creating a portfolio, which really becomes a bank for you. And we all know what banks do, they fund people. So, in a nutshell, I got tired of being in a wage cage. I'm an RN of 20 years. Things were happening. Healthcare changed. It went toxic. It no longer worked for me. I got tired of working doubles. I foresaw that I was not going to retire anytime soon unless I did anything. So I put in my resignation and I quit a six-figure job where I was making $121,200 a year. But don't get it wrong. I had to work at least one to two doubles every week. So that turns out to working 6 days a week, and that's just not fun. What I did was I quit my job and I tapped into my portfolio. And since I've been out, just like the video you just watched says, I created three businesses that are all lucrative, and I almost finished my first book. I have not worked but 2 weeks in the last 4 months. I literally get up when I want to, and I go to bed when I want to. I do business when I want to. I check business emails when I want to. So now you're going to start saving, or you're going to put yourself on basically a plan, a road to success. What I did when I wanted to get somewhere, I basically sat down and I put on paper in X amount of years, I want to be a multimillionaire. I want this many millions of dollars so that I can semi retire. Yes, I'm going to continue to work maybe part time or PRN as a registered nurse, but only to keep my skills up and only to have a fallback as a cushion. Now, do you get it? So now, I know a lot of you out there may be saying, well, I only have a regular job, like I'm not a professional. Well, when you sit down, what you need to do is come up with a small blueprint. What do you want to do in the next 5 years? Do you want to become a business owner? Do you want to semi retire? Do you want to add going to school with that? Do you want to add owning a home with that? What do you want to do? You have to get it down on paper, and then you have to work towards executing it. So, very simply, I'm going to tell you my plan. I said, this is not working. And so I wanted to be a multimillionaire. I said, I got to do something different. I noticed that multimedia was taking off. So I started making YouTube videos. You want to know what sparked my interest for YouTube videos? The issues that I was having in my current career. Thus, my channel's name is Awesome Order RN. That is one business. Okay? I started to literally see things unfold at work, and I would just jot down little issues. Of course, I have to observe HIPAA, but you guys get it. Being a nurse, one year, I decided to pick up 2 extra shifts along with my full-time job because I was in a lot of debt, you guys. I was paying out $880 a month in debt. And so I dedicated one year, 2 extra shifts a week just to pay off my debt. I got my debt down 80%. That allowed me to save. Remember, you're going to need savings. As I was paying off debt, credit cards was a part of that. That allowed me to have zero balance on my credit card, only swiping it for gas or groceries, just and paying it right back off just to keep it open so it doesn't close. My credit score literally went from like a 6.2. I have an 811 credit score. Okay. Then I started to watch people like the Wealth Twins on YouTube, and I started to take notes. Okay. And I started to read books like Tony Robbins' book, The Money Game, and I started to take notes. But I also am a doer. So you have to actually execute things. You see what I'm saying? They say the worst failures are the ones where where we only think of an idea and we never work towards executing it. So, you guys, like I said, I've been out of work for 4 months. You see me in my pajamas. I'm sitting on my couch. I woke up whenever I wanted to. I've already talked to another RN business owner that I actually fill nursing school shifts for sometimes. We live around the corner from each other in the burbs. And she saw the plan very early on in her career, too. She said, I'm not doing this. So she is an RN agency owner, and she staffs nurses to go to facilities to fill shifts for her. I have nursing notes made legal. I am a legal nurse consultant, and I staff nurses to help me read charts for medical malpractice, personal injury, and workers' comp. I also have a letter writing business. But remember, I told you my book is almost done. So my books get published under that. And my other business, well, let's just say this. Most millionaires own real estates. I've given you all the gems. I've given you all the pearls. Go ahead and click the like button. Subscribe if you want to. Follow me. There's more to come. You have to get out of this wage cage. It's never going to change. It's only going to get worse. Have a good one. Goodbye.